Hello, the time has come for another video finally. I think this video is going to be pretty good. I have a pretty nice description, it should be short. So, what do schizophrenics experience? A lot of people don't really understand how serious the things are that go on in the mind of schizophrenia and manic people with bipolar or schizoaffective during the state of mind called psychosis. During these events, called psychotic episodes, we often experience scary views of reality which can be very well described as dystopian, comparable to movies and shows and books such as The Maze Runner, Hunger Games, Squid Games, and Black Mirror. And real quick, there should be a distinguish between this psychotic episode, psychosis, and psychopathy, psychopaths. That concept is really someone who doesn't have feelings for people. Really, what happens with schizophrenic people a lot of times is they become numb, and bipolar people, they become numb, they become angry and self-defendant, according to my experience at least. And, most people are like that. They're private, they're like, don't get in my business. But once you open up to the world, things can be a beautiful place. But also a dangerous place at times. There's real danger out there, of course. I'm kind of sheltered throughout my life, and I think I explained in some videos about that, but I'll get into better detail. Also, it's not really my topic, but if psychopaths, I guess, want to come and talk, that's cool too. I'm starting a podcast for people with schizophrenia, bipolar, schizoaffective, and interestingly, actually, these fell under the antisocial disorders, as well as autism and sociopathism and psychopaths. But they have different reasons, and so let's get into the schizophrenic side mostly. There are also other states, other than like dystopian, paranoid, scary. There's other states leaning more on the grandiose side, where delusions or ideas are more exciting and comfortable and thrilling. But right now we're going to focus on the paranoid side. So what are some of these scary storylines that play constantly in the mind of a psychotic episode that may cause us to act in bizarre or concerning or frightening ways? So I wish I had cards on me right now. Actually, it might. No, I have markers that might work. This is going to be a cleanup. But so the problem with, mania, especially psychosis, maybe there could be a more like slower psychosis where it's just a really frightening idea and it stays that way. But in my experience, consider these being different thoughts, completely different themes, maybe, and different content of every kind, and they're all these, as I will get into this specific type of delusion or experience. I don't want to necessarily say it's a delusion because some people believe it or say there's explanations for it. And I think as people, we should at least leave 1% of possibility. I don't think it is probably the best idea to try to convince viewers that these ideas are real. But, okay, try to count these or try to, imagine these are thoughts. It's like a little bit faster than this, and there's like multiple at a time. And so, yeah, just, try to experience that. So you can't really hold on to one thing and it's just like constantly happening to you. These things just occur to you and you don't know how to control things. You're experiencing something. And it's not psychedelic either. There's considerations for like drugs, and so schizophrenia is basically the idea that you experience these things without drugs, but it's possible that drugs can have a play into it as well, such as antipsychotics. So what are some of the scary storylines that play constantly, that cause us to act bizarre or concerning or frightening ways? Once you really understand what's going on with these people, you will probably have a lot more empathy for them and be less frightened of them, and should really be concerned for the scary things that they are experiencing. So let's explore the idea of being cloned. What if you go out in public and see someone sort of like your brother, Suddenly you know he is your brother. Somehow he's teleported, shapeshifts, or some other possibility. Why would someone believe this so strongly? Here's an explanation of being a clone that might make you start thinking about this too. If you're familiar with Photoshop, you'll know you can layer images on top of each other. Similarly, what if we experience multiple layers of reality on top of each other, and our awareness of each is limited, or there's different factors to it that we don't understand, or that we have not evolved to. There's like UV ray lights, different animals experience different versions of light and stuff. So maybe so what if we have a different layer of reality? What if we have our whole bodies simulated also, or another layer of our body? What if we have two bodies and we're experiencing them both? For example, in Silicon Valley, they are already working on growing organs. I don't know how far advanced it is at this point, but they are, I believe, using it for heart replacement, liver, organ replacements for people that need them, instead of using donations from a living person or someone that has donated their organs after passing on. So we take this idea that we can already create clone organs. Elon Musk, this genius dude, I'm a fan of him, but also sometimes wonder if he's like this evil genius. He's started on Neuralink, which has the ability to at least stimulate the brain of pigs. Look it up, it's cool. He supposedly says it could help schizophrenia. I don't know how, because the idea of something going into your head is a big fear schizophrenic people have, or that we have something in our heads already. But technology has always been sneaky. For example, the internet was released at least 50 years after its invention, so it was hidden for a long time. And they may have lied about when it was created, and existed way longer than 50 years before. So, just the same, Elon Musk's Neuralink technology may be more advanced than they let on or tell us. Or, as I get into my explanations, perhaps this is where it could go. And I have a quick plug for schizophrenics. They have a bad rap, and the main thing that goes on is their delusions. Don't even think that is basically the impression I get, or whatever. Take your meds. Stop thinking that you're not in your right mind. That's what my mom says a lot. I think my family. There was some way worse responses to how to react to a psychosis that went on with her family, and there's a lot of more progress that everybody needs. So anyway, don't know what I was saying, but we have virtual reality, VR, used for video games, and this is likely just a small taste also of what advanced technology we're capable of. I kept thinking, what, we can replicate vision, we can replicate sound, put in earphones. It's like you can hear something over and over and over, but where is it? Where is it coming from? Usually it has to be alive. But not sight and sound. So what about smell, taste, and those things? Will we be able to replicate those at some point? Are we being replicated as we are experiencing a clone of ourselves? And that sounds weird, but let me explain. So, what if instead of just wearing a mask to see and hear two extra dimensions, vision and sound? What if we're plugged into a Neuralink type technology with only our important neurons necessary for sensory processing available? This way we can shrivel into a small collection of nerves that doesn't require. I keep saying neurons. I need to say nerves more, but for processing senses. This way we can shrivel into something small that doesn't require housing. Being part of the community, we take up space, and we need a whole building for us. But what if we just have a large building with many hubs of people in them, and shelving ink and incubators for something possibly like the brainstem. We shrivel down into just the brain and brainstem. That way they can stimulate our brain or neurons to believe we are seeing and hearing things. That might be why you feel disconnected from your body and sense of smell and taste. But how would they do this? First, the possibility is just that it's simulated like it's on a computer, and they're able to simulate this whole world like it's a network they put on and then plug us all onto it, and we just experience it electronically instead of for real. That way, they can save resources and stuff. But otherwise, they also have a clone of us. This, like we were saying in Silicon Valley, they have they can grow organs, so they grow a whole body, they grow a whole replication of us, and they send that into the real world. They use electric impulses to move and use the body with remote technology relating to your real life behavior, just like they did with pigs, because they're capable of this. They've developed technology to do this. But why would they do it? It could be an interesting experiment. It could be so they can create robots of us by relating ideas and images to brainwash us to their benefit, then simulate our bodies. All our hormones, organs are under their control by this method of stimulating the right parts of the body. Adrenaline glands for anxiety, to limit diet, to ration out food and stuff. Or maybe something interesting happens when we have adrenaline happening all the time. What would the real brain be doing, and how would the lab-grown clone not be a zombie? Given the consciousness is in the real brain once it was born, it is stored in the brain. And that's why they keep it, and you can't just grow a human or by organ and then piece it together and expect it to move like Frankenstein. But if we have two Neuralink type implants in the brain and one in the cloned brain and body, we can switch parts of each on and parts of each off, the Neuralink being the medium between the two. To link them, transmit one set of nerves from the clone back to the shriveled up octopus-looking brain and brainstem, sitting there in some saline solution. I don't know if I said that right. Saline solution. I guess the clone would be transmitted to the conscious brain in the incubator warehouse. So while the clone's out in the real world doing things, influenced by radio waves, doing what they want, being like having things play through the head to make it behave a certain way, then those images and things are sent to the real brain so that the consciousness is able to process them, and it's able to believe that it's in this clone walking around, causing the parietal cortex, I guess. Parietal cortex. I'm not smart. I just Google things. But that's a bit crazy word. Takes place in both versions. So the parietal cortex is active in both brains, while the memory is damaged in the real brain in the incubator. So the incubator, creepy warehouse lab, is the I'll refer to as the brain stem, and the other one is the clone with the full body. Clone full body, brain stem, creepy warehouse. So with limited memory in the consciousness, it's not needing to be aware that it's in this weird warehouse, and it has limited memory, which is more easy to give into the whims of its voices. If you're able to send radio waves into this, or with the technology, images, it's I know there's a word for it, but it's just suggestive advertising, subliminal messaging, kind of brainwashing. If you have like certain ideas constantly playing, and then your body relaxes because they're not like electrocuting you or whatever, like a dog with a collar. Then you're like, okay, I like this, but it's really a trick of the body. And then if you do something that they don't want you to do, then you'll begin to like get headaches because they'll be like zapping your brain, like, um, and so that's my thought on that part. Um, so the thing with we need a break. I need to get some water and clear my head. Well, this is all neat and sounds wonky, but probably isn't even happening. It's, probably not happening. Well, possibly and hopefully, but that's why I'm schizophrenic and you're not. Part of why this is so convincing is because, like I'm saying with, radio, um, freaking waves or whatever affecting my head, is because, like I said earlier, throwing markers at you, like thoughts, they just come and go, and so it's just like they're hitting send, and it hits and then it disappears, and it's like I know it was there, but now it's not, and so this remaining feeling is there. It's like waking up after dreaming, and you're like, I know kind of I had a dream and I feel weird because of that dream, but I don't remember the dream, but it just happens over and over and over. So voices will come in and often dictate what we do, or we just go do things because of this. Not like we sit here and think, okay, let's go over the options, write things down. There's urgency, franticness, fear. There's no time. Like I said, you can't hold on to your thoughts. Like what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do with this channel is every time I have a thought, write it down. That's why my life is crazy right now, is because I'm trying to like sort these things out and piece together the puzzles, what I'm thinking. Like this whole explanation of this video. Took a long time to piece together, but it came together. One small plug is that another way something like this can go on is that we were getting our baby teeth removed at the dentist, or and when they fill in our cavities, they're actually giving us an implant, and with electric impulses are able to give us thoughts and voices, or just radio signaling. They may also give your teeth, keep your teeth. They keep your teeth to have more material to work with, your bone, your DNA, to transmit information, images, ideas into your head. Like, why do you think the particular things to do? Why do you think the particular things you do? Are you just interested in them, or is someone else or some other influence causing you to be interested in them, or trick you into being interested in them? Is the universe making you interested in them? Are you really taking part? Are you taking choice? And yeah, if you have psychosis, mania, and are worried about this right now, what should we do about it? To be honest, if we are in a fake world, they've done a pretty good job at simulating it, and at this point we might not know how to get out of it, so we might as well just live in it. And freaking out is not going to help us solve anything or figure things out, as far as I know, unless freaking out is some part of the puzzle for you. And that might be very discouraging. Actually, what I'm just saying right now, like, don't listen to me. I'm not a doctor. Is another big thing. And I'm gonna try hard to like phrase things well, and I think it's important that we have a choice. We have, we are given encouragement to think for ourselves and given freedom for that. That I'm not like shoving ideas down your throat. And so I'm gonna try to give more detail exercises to train your mind, or kind of yell over their signal. One thing, basic tip, is talking out loud. It inputs your ears, activates your own voice, so you can get used to hearing yourself. Just talk, record yourself, things like that, like I do. And eventually you can kind of review it, see how you think of yourself, see if you want to change anything. Because if you don't like it, figure out what it is about your tone, about your delivery, that you need to do differently. So one big thing I realized is talking for a long time, no one wants to listen to me and all my ideas, so I should make a video about it instead, for people when they are interested. A basic tip is to face the possibilities, like I was doing in this video. Explaining the whole possibility. Like, now I have an explanation that explains it. So if you want to tell me to not believe this delusion, then you can suck a wonk, because this is why it's so convincing to me. And it's frustrating that you don't acknowledge me, you don't acknowledge my thoughts, you don't acknowledge what I'm experiencing. So, well, do you think we are really cloned? Like, if we are, they did a decent job, and I already said that, sorry. Why is it bad anyway? If we are cloned like this, why is that so bad? Maybe we'll die sooner because we're just a little brainstem in the lab, and we'll go to the next part of life, rather than living in a real body, having to do everything. It's just fake. It's just, I don't know. That might help, maybe freaking not. It's not fake. It is real, but it is real in a different way than in the physical world. I guess it could freak you out because it's like, well, I want to experience the physical world. Well, then go work out, go do things, go on runs, go hike, use your body. Like, all our hormones are just sitting in here, and our adrenaline glands, they can get flushed out and everything. Let me read this next part because it's kind of saying the same things. But see if it's physical. Does it feel real if you do push-ups? Like, does it feel real while you work out? The more I've worked out, the more it feels good to, like, have body parts. You know what I mean? Like, I can move my body in new ways. Nothing crazy yet. But hopefully, I'll have a good, healthy frame eventually. Use your body, get hungry. If you're like me, you ignore your basic needs and do not eat food. You don't sleep, you don't hydrate. You sit and lay around. Humans, animals, before our modern world, they were walking everywhere. So much exercise, and now, walking around the block is like, so, walk down the street, walk down the block. Simple things, simple, not hard at all, but do it consistently, and eventually you'll be like, this is easy as hell, sorry for swearing, but now let's do a slightly harder but also easy thing, and eventually there's times you'll want to go hard, and like, I love going ham at the gym. I'm probably still skinny because of that. Like, I burn everything, and sometimes I don't even eat after, but just getting that anger out, getting that energy out is important. Just getting that sadness out. Sometimes I go to the gym sad, and like, I'm angry because I'm sad. So, anyway, but you'll get oxygen in your lungs, and even if it's lab-grown lungs, it's gonna help your lab-grown body and heart, your blood pressure, get your nerves stimulated and start to grow to greater depths of sensitivity. Yoga, deep breathing, becoming more open and more open. I think I meant emotionally, but physically is good too. So that's, the cologne, lab freak out, image that's bothered me. There's many other things, and so I'll piece them together. I'll try to tell a good story. Let me know in the comments if, like, I have a boring tone of voice. I feel like I'm kind of just like, like, I don't know. I have a flat tone, maybe, or too, like, analytical. It's not like, whatever. I'll add pictures to this to make it cooler. But last thing, join our Grand Disconnect podcast, as the grandest disconnect is between us, humanity. Am I, alone thinking all these crazy thoughts? Is anyone else thinking the same things? Can we talk these ideas out and play through crazy scenarios? Yes. We can talk about it all, whatever. Everyone is, and we're doing their. There's many nice people in the world who care about community and everybody's freedom and safety, and we can talk about the wrongs in the medical industry and mistreatment and bring awareness to this issue, because a lot of abuse does go on and many people don't understand us. So we need to raise our voice. We need come talk on the podcast. Voice yourself. I can hide your name, voice, face, whatever. We can do a video call too. That is my best hope, but I understand lots of people don't want to put themselves out there that much. But face-to-face, comfortable conversation is what I'm hoping for. So sign up in the description with your Discord, Skype, Facebook Messenger, or some other platform where we can call over the computer. Thank you and much love.